What's going on, Twitch? I wanted to touch on a few notes since I've last been here, but so rap has been going kind of crazy as of late, hasn't it been? I mean, we have the um we have the announcement of Dr. Dre confirming that Eminem is dropping an album this year. So there's that. There's the Kendrick and Drake beef, and then I'm also gonna react to absolutely terrible bars. But I wanted to start by talking about the Drake and Kendrick civil war, the hip hop civil war, and where I stand on it, and what I think is gonna happen. So for those of you that are not super invested in rap music, or you live under a rock, or you just don't know, um Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been kind of subtly beefing for the last like decade, maybe a little longer. Um, and personally, this is just me. I know that there's probably a whole lot of other layers to it, but I think really what happened was that Drake could not get over Kendrick's control verse. And I think that's probably what drove Drake to jealousy of Kendrick. And Drake has been firing subliminals at Kendrick, and Kendrick's been firing subliminals at Drake for a long time. And so I say all that to say that it really isn't that surprising to me that in the year 2024 that Kendrick would hop on to Metro Boomin's album and basically call out Drake. And people were saying that he was talking about Cole, but to be honest with you, I really do think that Kendrick and Cole are cool with each other. I think that this is a war between Kendrick and Drake. And there's a whole lot of facets and layers and sides that I think need to be taken here because there's more people involved in this that don't need to be here but are. So let me just lay it all out for you, okay? So Metro Boomin is involved in this because Drake and Metro Boomin had a falling out. Okay, so Drake is bitter with Metro Boomin, and Metro Boomin is bitter with Drake. Okay, so there's that. There's also Drake and Future beefing with each other. Okay, then Drake and Travis Scott. Travis Scott was just on Metro's album. So does Drake see that as an act of betrayal? Does he, or or doesn't he? That's that's the thing that y'all have to think about here. Does Drake see this as an act of betrayal? Um, and then there's also an important part of this too. 21 Savage. 21 Savage is a really big part of this for Metro and Drake because in the words of a lot of people, Drake blessed 21 Savage by making him bigger than he ever has been before. And that's just not even, like, deniable, like, Drake took 21 Savage from being, like, a star and turning him into, like, a mega star, and so, I think does it really matter who 21 Savage sides with? I mean, not really, but if he's not a snake, he'll side with Metro because Metro helped him to get his start in rap music. So, I say all that to say that the sides that are gonna be taken, like, is Travis Scott like, he had to have known that Kendrick was gonna diss Drake because Kendrick was having like that played at his, concerts. He knows. So does Travis Scott not fuck with Drake anymore? And if so, why? Future and Drake, if what is rumored to be, it's a fucking stupid reason why they fell out, but they fell out over a fucking girl. The same girl, they were both fucking the same girl, and they fell out over that girl. Anyway, that's so fucking petty. They're in their 40s. It's petty. But Drake and Future have fallen out with each other. Where does J. Cole lie in this? Because J. Cole, I think, is a nice dude. And I think he invites the competition, right? If 21 Savage, someone who's close with Cole, chooses Kendrick Lamar, will J. Cole go with Metro Boomin and Kendrick's side? Or will he stay with Drake? Because to be honest with you, I don't think Drake has a whole lot of people on his side. If I'm being totally and completely honest with you, Drake might. I mean, Nav, one of Drake's biggest uh meat meat riders. Nav unfollowed Drake on Twitter. Now, uh, well, sorry, on literally like everything. Now, I completely understand that unfollows don't mean jack shit. I completely get that. 100%. But something that you gotta think about too is that why now? Why now are they choosing to unfollow him? Like Drake has probably been keeping everyone down for so long. Like I don't think Drake is the type of person that just like Drake like demands loyalty blindly. So personally, it would not shock me if this, Kendrick verse was able to like open up opportunities for people to abandon Drake. Now, I will say Eminem did actually prophesize this. He said on Zeus and Drake, they're gonna turn on you one day too, the more that they see you winning. I mean, he he's not wrong, but also you gotta think about this too. Drake really does not have a leg to respond because Drake has ghostwriters, okay? It has been documented that Drake has writers, okay? Drake cannot go toe to toe with Kendrick on his own. Now, if he gets J. Cole on a song with him, that could possibly be a decent track to go at Kendrick with. Drake does not have the bars to stand with Kendrick because all Kendrick has to say is, "You didn't write this shit." And if Drake is smart, he'll back off. Now, do I want it for the culture? Definitely. I would love to see a Drake and Kendrick beef flat out, okay? I would love that. But for Drake's own career, he shouldn't do it. It's kinda like how Machine Gun Kelly was, like, poking the bear, and then, Eminem dissed him, and then Machine Gun Kelly officially dissed Eminem, and then Killshot dropped, and, MGK was never really the same after that. So, but the, um the thing is that Kendrick would absolutely demolish Drake, so I really do not know whether or not it would be wise for Kendrick to, or for Drake to officially diss Kendrick. Like, it would not bode well for him for his career, at least that's how I view it. Um, so, yeah, sides are definitely gonna be taken, for sure. I also feel like something that people gotta think about here too is how many people are gonna get involved in this thing. I mean, if Drake like, there is one caveat that Drake might have. Did he fuck over Lil Wayne? Because if Drake and Lil Wayne are cool with each other, maybe Drake might have some help. And I mean, if you have Wayne on your side, no one fucks with Lil Wayne. Like, you do not mess with Lil Wayne. Even now, you do not mess with Lil Wayne. Um, did Drake fuck over Lil Wayne? Lil I think that Lil Wayne could be Drake's saving grace, possibly. if Cole sides with Metro Boomin and if he sides with, Kendrick, I think that could definitely be a silver lining. But to my broader question, who do I think would win the war between Kendrick and Drake overall? Well, I mean, Drake's got a devoted fan base, so he'd probably be okay if he were to lose a beef to Kendrick. I definitely think Kendrick uh, Drake's got more to lose than Kendrick does because Drake is more active than Kendrick is. Like, Kendrick comes out of cryosleep every, like, 3 years. Um, Whereas, like, Drake, I feel like maybe people would clown him more on his, like, new stuff, you know what I mean? Like, Drake's kinda just chilling, and then he has to be brought back into rapping again. But, I don't know. I feel like Kendrick would win the war against Drake, but he doesn't really need to win. It's kinda like Drake can fire a headshot, but Kendrick just won't die. Like, you can't take either man's legacy away from the other, but if Drake kills Kendrick in a beef, which would not happen, but say that Drake absolutely demolishes Kendrick, right? Kendrick's just gonna go back into cryosleep for the next like 5 years. Then by the time that he comes back again, it would already be over with, and people would have forgotten about it. Drake is too much of a narcissist that he has to be active and he has to always be like present. That he just couldn't. If Drake loses the rap beef, if Drake loses, he's gonna get clowned forever because he's constantly active, he can't not be. So, I think personally that Drake's got much more to lose than Kendrick does, because Kendrick, like I said, Kendrick is active for, like, a day, and then he just goes back into cryo sleep for, like, years at a time, and he like, it wouldn't hurt his sales if an album comes out in 2 or 3 years and he got watched by Drake. Like, now, I'm not saying that that would happen, but what I'm saying is that that definitely is a possibility that,